Hi, I'm Janelle Chin. I'm doing the next installment of Beyond the Blue. And it's when we look at the sermon that was preached on Sunday and we spend a little bit of time just thinking about how we can make it practical and apply it to our lives. So this week, the line in the Apostles' Creed that we studied was, "I believe in the Holy Catholic Church and the communion of saints." I actually loved that one. I love church history. It's so cool to me that Christ has been Lord of his church for 2,000 years, and that he's done that through time, he's done that through geographic barriers, through language barriers, through cultural barriers. He has preserved and protected and grown his church. And he's done that often probably in spite of us rather than because of us. I love that the church has been a messy place throughout history, that it's never just been this one thing that defines who we are. I love that it's diverse. So we talked this Sunday and got this huge picture of the church of Christ. And Brent said two things this week that really stood out to me. The first one had to do with the church being holy, one holy Catholic church. And what he talked about was, what does holiness mean? What does it mean that the church is holy? Therefore, what does it mean that I participate in the church's holiness? And he talked about John Wesley, and that John Wesley's definition of holy had more to do with me living life as an expression of my love for Christ and for people than it does following a list of do's and don'ts. That was really challenging to me because I think that often in the church and in my own life, it's about following a list of do's and don'ts. And as I was thinking this week, I thought, I can do that and not love. And if holiness involves love, it involves the motive of my heart. So I was really just thinking about that this week. The other thing that I was thinking about was Christ's church is to be one. It's to be unified. And he quoted Hebrews 10:24 and 25, which says, "And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds. Let us not give up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but let us encourage one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching." A few things. One is that we are not to give up meeting together. Christ created his church in a way that we are to live interdependently. We need each other, and I need you as much as you need me. We need each other. I love that picture. We're not independent. We're not single. We're one as a unit. The other thing it really made me think about was, let us encourage one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. That my little part in the church as a whole, in this body at Reno Christian Fellowship, in the Church Universal, is that I would be encouraging. And that just was such a practical application to me. Am I thanking people when they serve, when they give themselves away? Am I letting people know that I notice that they've changed, that God is changing them and active and working in their life? Do I let them know that? Do I tell them, you are not the same person you were 6 months ago or a year ago? I can see it in you, and it's really fun to see God working in you. So that was challenging to me, and that's where I'd like to leave you this week. We have this picture of the universal church, and over 2,000 years. That feels so big, and it is. And it's how we know Christ is Lord in one way. And yet it comes down to the little corner of the church that I'm involved in, and then even just me. And so I'd encourage you this week to encourage someone else, to thank them, to let them know you appreciate them, to acknowledge to them that you see them growing in their relationship with Christ. You see it happening and you see what it is. Let's be the church together. And as a part of that picture, let's encourage one another.